Yo, Crazy Superman here, hamster number 7, drop him bomb. How to master the FPV control using the DJI Neo. This thing is very different from using the motion controller. With motion controller, it's very simple, very easy. Anybody take couple of sessions, you will learn all the basic and you can fly like a pro. With FPV Controller 3, this is a completely different story. I saw Ukraine war fighting FPV drone bombing the tank. I got excited. Then I was like, well, this thing is expensive, but I want to learn it. It's looking at the war video, it's super exciting. So I got this, and then in my first session of practice, 3-second crash, 5-second crash, 2-second crash. It kept crashing. First session, I had a crack at the hinge here, and the motor, I had to fix it, push in, otherwise the blade will hit the motor. And the second session, I picked up my confidence again and tried again in sort of like an open baseball field. And same thing. It's very strange. This kind of control is completely different from the regular DJI controller where you fly to take picture, take video. This thing is insane. So my second session, same thing, keep crashing. 2-second crash, 3-second crash, and I damaged the gimbal. The bad crash was pushing the gimbal in, and when I tried to pick up the drone, this gimbal was going like, looks like this robot is about to die. Then I was like, wow, how can this be so difficult? How are you ever going to learn this? And that's the most important step of learning FPV. You have to get a simulator. A simulator like liftoff, like velocity drone, there's a whole bunch of FPV simulator. You can connect the controller and fly. So I choose to use velocity drone. It's a UK company. It's like £18 to get the app. Then you can run off your computer and connect. You can fly. You will learn how to do the taking off, throttle. The turning is very different. Like when you are turning, you have to do two stick to the right, 2 stick to the left. And then you have to constantly adjust the balance, the angle. This is very difficult to explain. You just have to use the simulator. So I was doing the simulator every day, practice for like good 10, 20 hours. Then I feel, finally I'm confident again. I can fly this, no problem. And in my third session, there were still many crashes, like very similar, like 6-second crash, 10-second crash. In simulator and real plane is different. Simulator, you crash, it doesn't hurt, but a real one, it crashed, it's broken, you have to fix it, you feel bad, it's every time it's heartbroken. So in my third session, I had very bad scratch, and here it was all scratched with a whole bunch of mud. And then I went home, continued the simulator practice, put in at least an hour, 2 hours a day, daily. And then in my fourth session, I fly. Oh, I was able to do quite a bit. But then in the end, it still crashed. And that crash was so bad. I broke the hinge and the cover, it was broken. And this blade was broken as well. So I had to replace the blade. And then my brother helped me fix this thing. So it's kind of repaired and it's still working. I picked up my confidence again, and then the 5th time flying, same thing. I fly a little bit and still end up in crashing. And this time, the 5th time also damaged the gimbal. The whole thing was pushed back and then doing this. And yesterday, I was like, okay, this thing is way too difficult. Every time I crash, if you continue practice, it's going to cost you a lot of money for repair, and emotionally it's difficult. It's heartbroken. Every time it crashes, you feel bad. So I actually did the return on the Amazon. I'm still within the 30 days, and I even print out the paper for the Amazon return. Like, this is just way difficult. It's not for everyone. And I was about to give up. But yesterday I was like, okay, one last time. Let's do this for the very last time. I picked up my confidence again. And if I cannot do this, I'm returning, getting my money back. So this is what I learned. This is very important. When you take off in the aim mode, that's fine. Before you switch to the manual mode, you want to go to a very high place, around 30 to 50 meters, where you cannot hit anything. Okay. This is when you turn on the manual mode. Ta-da! And then you engage in the manual mode, and then you begin to fly in the high space. Now, once you finish all your practice, before you come down to low space where you might hit something, then you switch back to normal or sports mode with regular or DJI control. Okay, this is the most important tips. So because of this reason, yesterday, whole day, I was flying the FPV, and first time I was able to practice without crashing. And then you follow these tips and you can really, really improve. Because simulator helps you learn the basic, but to fly the real thing is different. And this morning, it crashed again. Not because I hit something or I didn't follow this rule of only turning to manual when you are in high space and returning, come back to the regular mode. What happened was I was flying quite far away, and there was a building right next to me. So at this position, the signal wasn't good. And when the signal was not good, I lost the signal. Then I couldn't control. Then I was like, oh, okay, return to normal mode. And then return home. But it was too late. Like, once the signal is gone, with the manual control, like it just crashed, like right away. So I had to use this tracking function. So I quickly picked up everything and then went to the crashing site, and there were a whole bunch of grasses. I couldn't find it. Then I pressed this C1. Then it's gonna go beep beep, beep beep, beep beep. So I was panicked a little bit, it's cheap, but still kind of expensive. And I hear the beep sound, but I look around, I couldn't see where it is. Then I had to walk deeper into the grass area, and then press again, beep beep, beep beep, and finally I found it. And then there were a whole bunch of grass got caught into the propeller. So right now I can practice fine in the high space. Low space, come back to normal mode, and make sure you don't lose your signal, because when you lose your signal, it's gone. So signal, very important. And that's it. Just let everybody know my progress for flying FPV, learning this is probably going to take good 2-3 months to master. This thing is just very, very difficult, can get very, very frustrated, and you need to picking up your confidence after every failure. This is extremely, extremely difficult, but don't give up. Keep practicing, keep pushing. One day you can fly like a pro. All right, ciao.